Okay. We're live, right, Shavan? Right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Young Chief Operating Officer Dialogue. You guys have heard a lot about Chief Finance Officer, Chief Marketing Officer, Chief Sales Officer, all these executive positions. But one of the most underrated positions is that of the Chief Operating Officer, who is the one who uses all these cross-functional disciplines and uses them to get the deliverables. So today we'll be discussing that domain. And today we have with us two teams with young leaders who want to understand Chief Operating Officers at the basics. So which team would like to go ahead with their introductions first?
Hello, I think we would love to go first.
Yeah, Shanu.
So, hello everyone, we are Team Buddies, and I would like to present my team. So, hello everyone.
Shana can do the slideshow.
Wait. Shana, we are introducing like the team members right now, right? So you can just give your introduction and all the team members can introduce themselves.
Okay, so shall I stop?
Yeah.
Okay,
we can do the pitches in a bit. Yeah.
Okay, so hello everyone, I am Shananjum and I am part of Team Cutlery, and we are team of 3 members, Anjali and Mitali and myself, and we have a coach Mohit, and we create wooden cutleries from the waste material that is coming out from the manufacturing units of wooden furnitures. Thank you.
Thank you, Shana. Would the other team members also like to introduce themselves?
Hi, Anjali this side. So as Shana explained regarding the woody cutlery, so we'll be shortly going, walking you through the presentation and discussing this in more detail. So yeah.
Okay, thank you, Anjali. Yeah, please.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Mitali. As Anjali and Shana are my teammates, and we are Team Woody Cutlery. We have come up with a sustainable cutlery brand, and we will be showing up the presentation soon.
Okay, great to see the excitement in Team Woody Cutlery. All of them going ahead with the introduction of the team too. So yeah, would the next team like to go ahead and introduce themselves?
Yeah. Hi everyone, I'm Riddhi and we're from Team EcoFresh. I've been a part of DT from the past 8 months and I work as a learning and development research fellow. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Andrea. I'm a pattern developer in Artist Engineers, and today our team will present you our view of EcoFresh brand.
Hi, I'm Joel. I'm working with MarTech Lab as a content writer, and I'll be representing EcoFresh as a member. Yeah.
Okay, the coaches can go next.
Hello guys, I'm Tushar. I've been working at Deep Thought for the past 10 months now. I'm a leader, right? And I have been helping people, become more behaviorally and cognitively matured. So yeah, that's what I do at Deep Thought. I'm very excited to be here in DST today.
Yeah, hello guys. I'm Mohit. I'm working here in Deep Thought from last 1 year, and I'm working as a full stack developer right now. And I'm also leading a team called Humanistic AI Lab. So yeah.
Thank you guys. And I am Samida. I'm a psychologist at Deep Thought, currently in the learning and development team called Career Acceleration Lab. And again, we're trying to ensure that everybody is able to deliver results and approaching productivity with the correct mindset, right? Which is also what we'll discuss. So I think we can start with the pitches for Chief Operating Officer. Which team would like to take the initiative?
Thank you. So can I say that our team, Woody Cutlery, would like to take the initiative and go first?
Please, Shana, go ahead.
Thank you, Samita. So, hello everyone. We are Team Woodies, and we create cutlery from the wooden waste that come from the manufacturing units of wooden furnitures. And the name of our brand is Woody Cutlery. And in my team, there are Mitali, Anjali, and myself, Shana. So let's go with the presentation. So the motivation came from the fact that there is a lot of waste that comes from the furniture units, but these waste are not properly utilized, but we are using the waste to recycle it and manufacture cutleries which are eco-friendly, disposable, and good to use. So the most important thing that we take care of is the quality of our product. Okay, so we make sure that our cutlery is not easily breaking, and it is easy to use. It has a smooth texture, and it is splinter free. That means it doesn't create any scratches or anything because it is made of wood. So to streamline our manufacturing process, our main priority is to take care of the quality. So to maintain the quality, we are using good quality of raw material. We are following all the hygiene standards that is needed in a food related manufacturing unit, because the spoons will be used or the cutleries will be used to eat food, and taking care of customer satisfaction by taking feedback from them from different forums and online sources, and meeting them and connecting to the suppliers, taking feedbacks from them, and then doing the quality check process. We do all the manual and technical quality check before putting our product into the market, and doing daily stand-ups. We do daily stand-ups so that we are making sure that everyone in the team is on the same page, everyone is aligned with the organizational values and culture, and everyone understands the value of high quality and sustainable product. So the problems that we are facing, or the prominent problems with our business, are procuring good quality raw material. As we know that we are using the raw material from which is a waste from the manufacturing units of furniture industry. So basically, getting good quality wood is a very big challenge that we are facing, because sometimes wood is infested with fungus and termites. So we have to make sure that the wood is disease free and of good quality, and it can be used for making these spoons, which will be used for eating, so food grade item. Then maintaining the hygiene. Again, hygiene is super important because we are creating food grade items, and maintaining hygiene takes a lot of efforts and care. Then procuring finances. So most part of our finances has been financed by ourselves, our team members, but we have also taken a small amount of bank loan, and also seek subsidies from the government agencies, which is given to cottage industry and small scale industries. And since we are sustainable business, so we do get some subsidies from the government. And the next problem that we think is a prominent problem is people's management. Like keeping everyone aligned to the business goal is a challenge. We have to constantly keep reminding people of the values and the system and the culture of the business. And following the slides will be explained by team member Anjali.
Hi, everyone. So as Shana explained, the business model, that is Woody Cutlery. And as you might have seen, Mr. Woody, as he says, reach for the sky. So the same is our principle. And to discuss, more on how to reach for the sky, and, what would be the principles and processes that will be following towards reaching the sky will be discussed. So as Shana explained, the problems that we might come across as a company, will be focusing on the processes now. So using good raw materials is one of the major aspect as we, start towards this wooden cutleries. How do we source it? So by reaching out to, companies which are brand, most probably Pepperfry, Urban Ladder, etc. So reaching out to such companies wherein there is the value aspect already related will make our job easier to, sourcing out the good resources. The next would be following hygiene standards, as these cutleries will be used by people for having food. Hygiene would be an important, an inevitable part of the production. And following hygiene will be at the same time communicated among the employees and practiced it among the employees during manufacturing. So, making sure all the wooden sources are being, cleaned using detergents and etc. is another aspect that will be following. Then doing the quality check. So providing an A-B quality wood, free of termites or any kind of, rust and everything will be the next aspect. Doing a quality check and making sure we provide that A-B graded wood in the cutleries. Then the other process is doing daily stand-up meet. So why exactly doing this daily, scrum or the stand-up meet? It is important as an organization that everyone in the organization should be aligned to the goal of the, company or the product. As we are focusing on providing quality product, at the same time focusing on sustainability, it becomes an important aspect of a company as a COO to communicate its value to the, employees as well as, eventually in the market. Hence, doing a daily stand-up meet would be focusing on to, spread this word, spread the vision among the employees. The major and the last aspect, which is customer satisfaction, to make sure if the customers are actually satisfied and what all, feedbacks we receive from them would be an important aspect that we'll be following in the process towards this company. Next slide, please. Thanks, Anna. So operational principles. Now let's talk about how we'll be operating it. As we explained, there will be more, stand up or, let's say scrum and daily meetups that we'll be having. But how exactly that we'll be doing it? First and important, continuous cross collaboration. What does cross collaboration mean? I'll quickly explain. Cross collaboration mean we'll be connecting on different team level. All the team members will be connecting on a single meet, discussing their project, their contribution and reflecting on the same. So this will help everyone to understand each and every processes in every team and, share their inputs as well, making it more of a holistic level, contribution rather than just team level. Then the next point is analyzing and optimizing. As a company, it is really important to always, reflect and analyze on the processes that we do, and at the same time focus on, optimizing the same. So we'll be focusing on, optimizing the manufacturing processes using the feedbacks and the cross collaborations that we'll be doing. Then the standardization, as I mentioned, having a AB grade would be the, standard that we'll be trying to meet with all our products. The innovation. So innovation will be fostered using asynchronous discussion and learning drills, so that there will be a fresh idea that is always coming and going across the employees in the company, and they won't be, just stuck to the same ideas that it has been in the initial stages. Feedback process, getting feedback from the customers as well as the employees would be something that will be focusing on to, produce the best grade products. Then the talent management. Now, this is a different point wherein we'll be having mentors who will be identifying, the talents or, the kind of employees, identifying their strengths and assigning them to particular project or, tasks so that they can, develop as per their capabilities and expertise. So over to you, Mitali, for further explanation.
Okay, just a second. Since we have already gone quite ahead of time due to the long presentation, could you quickly just sum up the remaining slides in like 1 or 2 sentences, and then we could start with the questions.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll sum it up. Okay, so solution impact. So basically, as you have, as Anjali and Shana has explained what exactly our business model is. Now I will explain you what exactly impact we are trying to create. As you all know that we have a lot of plastic being produced each and every day. Over around 400 million of plastic is being produced. So we are trying to get into a model which can be more eco-friendly. We are trying to get into an environmental friendly model. We have come up with a very sustainable cutlery brand. And can you have the next slide, please? Yeah, so we are trying to create a very sustainable business, which is also profitable. We are trying to make the life sustainable by providing the cutlery, which is biodegradable. It can be recycled, and the waste and the damage that is created to environment due to use of plastic can be reduced to a very great extent. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Team Woody Cutlery. Would the other team like to go ahead with their questions?
Okay, so you have talked about the hygiene. How will you maintain that hygiene while the processing of the product?
So as Anjali mentioned, we have our hygiene standards and we make sure that everyone is following the hygiene standards. So it is a set of rules like washing the words, making sure that it is not infested by any pesticides or termites, and only processing wood after these standard checkups. So this is how we maintain the hygiene.
Yeah. Also, as standardization means there are also, different grades of wood that come across. So we'll make sure, our grade of wood will never go beyond A or B. So these are the best grade wood. So that is another process that will be applying. I hope that answers.
Okay, don't you think that after using woods from past 3 or 4 years, let's take example, that quality of the wood decline? So how will you maintain that?
I'm sorry,
Actually,
Andre,
we are
how is it relevant to operations of your organization? Like, how is the question relevant to operations?
They have asked about that they are eco-friendly and they're sustainable. So according to that, I have asked because if they are, so if the product is not usable for more than 5 years, there is no use of buying their product as a normal person. That's
Okay, can Woody Cutlery team please explain how hygiene is related to the organizational problem that you're talking about, that you are trying to deal with? Can we first clarify that?
Can you explain your question again?
Okay, so what is the organization problem that your organization is, what is the operational problem that your organization is facing? Can you explain that first?
Sure. So related to hygiene, the problem that we face is the raw material, that is wood, is often invested or infested by the parasites or fungus or
Okay,
termites.
got your
So,
point. How is it
yes,
affecting your organization?
operation. So how is it affecting our operation? Because if a lot of our raw material will be infested, then we'll not be able to produce in bulk. So we have to make sure that we procure good quality wood and also maintain the hygiene within our own organization to make sure that we are not wasting our resources.
Okay, can you point out operational principles that you're using to deal with this problem?
Yes, we are using the principle of standardization for this. We have set standards that are supposed to be followed for maintaining the hygiene, and everyone in the organization who is involved in manufacturing follows those standards. So this is what we are doing.
Yeah, it's more also related to a deliberative approach towards, the entire process that we do. Not being unaware about the facts of, how much hygiene is important. So yeah.
Okay, sure. I think that clarifies the thing. Yeah, Ecofresh, please go ahead with your questions.
So I wanted to ask, how do you exactly ensure a product quality? Because are you trying to gather any organizational certificates on your products?
Yes, so we do make sure that whatever guidelines that is issued by the government for food grade items, we make sure that we are following those guidelines and we are not overlooking it. We are not compromising on it. That's how we maintain our, quality.
Okay, so I have a follow-up question. So usually the steel spoons and other alternatives are more reliable and they sustain more from a consumer perspective. So how exactly is this?
Okay, so I'll try to explain.
Wait, just to clarify, Joel, could you explain once how that's related to operations?
Yeah, so if you're using wood, you need some kind of operation to maintain the quality of it so that you can match the quality of a steel spoon. So I wanted to ask if they have researched.
But they clarified, right, that the hygiene thing and whatever certifications they're having, that ensures the quality. So I'm not sure if it's still in that
Alright.
domain. Are there any other questions?
I guess
Then-
I want to clarify Joel's question in a more, practical aspect. These products main market is not, the daily household. Because of course we have the stainless steel to use in the daily household. Our major market is the events, more of the food delivery agencies, because these people are the major, usage of one time, let's say, cutlery. So yeah, I hope that answers.
I have a clarification question. So your product is the utensils, right? Those spoons, wooden spoons.
Yeah.
And you're selling those to people, to the customers.
Mhm.
How is that relevant? Like you selling those wooden thing, how is it solving your hygiene problem in your organization?
Okay, so what? So the problem that we are facing is while manufacturing the product, the hygiene problem. Because if we don't store the raw material properly, it will get infested and it will get spoiled. That will spoil our raw material and how we will produce the good. So you understand the problem we are facing is an organizational problem. It is not related to the customer here. It is a organizational issue that we are facing and we are dealing with.
Okay, so that's what Joel even meant, right? Like you guys are producing the wooden utensils, wooden spoons, right? And those require more maintenance than the steel ones, don't they? Right? So you going and taking the certifications and stuff, don't you think that it's getting like
Okay,
taking
so
more effort?
I have got your question, Tushar. So I'll try my best. So if you see maintaining a steel spoon, we are not talking about maintaining the steel spoon. Think from the perspective of manufacturing a steel spoon. Now think from the perspective of manufacturing a cutlery which is made out of wood, which is procured from a manufacturing unit. So the process of manufacturing is very different of a steel spoon and that of a disposable spoon that is made of wood. So you know that requires huge machineries, melting of steel, making alloys of steel, this and that. So that will require a lot of investment. We don't have that. Also, our values is for sustainable development, and we are trying to reuse a waste which is produced by another industry to make it into a good use. So that is our cause. So I hope that I explained your
Yes,
concern.
got your point. Sana, yeah, my team can do follow-ups.
Any other questions? Yeah.
Yeah. So as you have mentioned your problem, so what's your main focus that you are dealing with? That is hygiene or your good material, or choosing the good material. What's your main focus problem statement as a
Both.
professional?
Both, because both are great determinants or factors of the quality of our end product.
How do you maintain that the good quality of the product? As if you are doing that, don't you think that will be costly and it will give you more problems?
Sorry, like what was the question? Like how will it be
I was
expensive?
asking.
I think Envy is asking whether maintaining the quality would be more costly, right? Is that the correct question?
Okay, so Mitali, would you like to answer or like I can?
Yeah, maintaining the quality won't be that expensive because the material that we are using is wood, and of course that is the material that is we are getting from the furniture industry, right? That is the raw material. That is shredding. While we're making the furniture, the shredding part, that is the waste part, right? So going into the hygiene part, we actually use a lot of detergent and stuff to actually wash away the dirt that is there in the wood part. So it is actually not because we don't have to go into a hi-fi system to actually get through the wood part, right? Because we don't need a hi-fi system to clean the wood, right? So exactly, it's not going to be that costly.
Yes,
And also we do
also
regular checkups on it. So
adding to Mitali's concern, like if we follow the guidelines or standard systems that are issued by the government, you know, for maintaining the food grade quality, then we will be able to maintain the quality at a much cheaper cost.
Yeah, as also we are recycling, all these products are, a waste product. And at the same time, these products are a waste of furniture. Furniture brands are already making sure of these standards. And hence,
Okay,
there is
so
not much
yeah,
extra.
Anjali, I think we got the point, right? That it's the resource allocation you guys are concentrating on, lower cost for the supply so that it's easier with the hygiene part. Okay, that makes sense. Any follow-up questions to that? Okay, EcoFresh, yeah.
A quick clarification, you said lower cost for the supply, right? Can you quickly elaborate on that?
What is it? Work cost?
Samita, you said, right?
Lower cost for supply because they're
Yeah.
using raw materials that have already been used by furniture industry, right?
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, don't you think that the quality of the, like, since those products have already been used, those furniture, those wooden stuff, don't you think that they might be
Just
affected
a
in certain way?
clarification, Tushar, we are not using used wood. You know, when like, can I share my screen and then you will be able to see? Uh, uh, just a second. So, you know, wait. let's see.
You can just,
Yeah.
speak out. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give me a second. So, as you see, while manufacturing new furnitures, could you see the screen? The waste that is coming out as a shredded powder or this kind of waste, this is what we are using. So while manufacturing the furniture, the companies are already maintaining the standards that these are already termite free and this and that. We are taking it from them, but it is not used. It is a new but waste product. It is their
Got your point.
byproduct, I would say.
Sure. Thank you, Sana.
Thank you.
Any follow-up questions to that, EcoFresh? Okay, so we can, yeah. Joel, you're not audible. Could you check your mic, please?
Yeah. If you're trying to procure waste products, what frameworks do you have from like to acquire them from other companies? Because you're obviously not producing waste by yourself.
What exactly you mean by, like, what is the question exactly?
How exactly are you like going to contact them and form a contract between other companies and you, that they provide you with these waste materials in a consistent way? Like,
It's a collaboration, right? Like it's a basic business model. We will be connecting with these partners, and we'll be telling them. It's majorly because one profit that they will be gaining is they will be having a lot of lesser cost in their waste management. As we are taking care of their waste, there isn't much efforts that will be needing to collaborate with such companies or such brands. So does that
Okay.
answer the question?
yes, thank you.
Thanks.
Any follow-ups to that? Yeah, Ritu.
Not a follow-up, but in your operational principles, you talk about feedback, right? So how is that related to operations is something I would like.
Just to clarify, was there any follow-up to that question? Okay, yeah.
Okay, so we are taking feedback, to make sure that there is no problem. Like if suppose we are manufacturing, we are following every quality standards, everything, but still if the consumer are not satisfied, then we will require to change our operations, right? We will require to change our process of manufacturing, our quality. So that's why we are taking feedback from the consumer to see whether our end customers are satisfied or not, whether they are having a good experience or not. Does that answer your question?
Okay, so you talk about like on the other side, but like how is it again related to the operations, the internal operations that would be going on within the.
Can I take an example to explain you? Suppose out of 5, we are getting feedback of 3 stars. Then we'll know that there is something wrong and we'll try to, restructure our process, streamline our process, increase our quality standards. So this is how it impacts our operations. And if we are getting good feedback, we'll try to maintain.
Okay. I have another question, but it's a different thread. Can we go
A
ahead?
follow-up.
I
I
think
have a
Tushar
follow-up.
has a.
Okay.
Sana, in the answer that you just gave, you said you'll take feedback from the staff, but earlier you said you'll take feedback from the customer. So which one is it?
No, I didn't say stars, I said.
Oh, stars.
If we
Okay.
are getting 5, like 3 out of 5 stars, how it's on Flipkart and all.
Okay. So if you are getting,
Definitely.
so what you meant was if you're getting good feedback from the customers, then that would mean that the operation is going good. So you'd want to keep on doing that.
Right.
Okay.
And if it's bad, then we would restructure it. We will try to, higher our quality standards and all.
But what if the feedback that they're giving you is good, but the way that you're actually operating, it's not good, right? What if you realize that later on?
Okay, then that would be an internal thing. Suppose I come up with a discrepancy which is happening within the organization, then still, even if the customer are satisfied, it is always the responsibility of the business person to make sure that the business is going fine, that we are following the standards, we are ethical enough, we are contributing to the environment, and we're not creating any
No,
damage.
sure.
So,
But can you mention something specific? Like, let's say that I asked a customer to give a feedback on certain thing that deals with a part of an operation, right? The person gives a good feedback, but that's not the case. Let's say the operation is really bad in that aspect, right? So how would you deal with that?
It's more of when we said the principles aspect, so we will be actually covering, I mentioned it during my explanation. In the feedback process, it would be also, the team feedback also, how everyone is functioning, because we have been, explaining this aspect of continuous cross collaboration and, having having more and more sprint and more of the talent management, and having different asynchronous discussions wherein we'll be exploring different topics and having more information about the competition as well. So these
How would
things,
it help you deal with the operational problem?
so these things will help us identify, sharing everybody's perspective and opinion will help us identify the problem if there is any, and
What
thereby
if the discussions and stuff, the problem does not get highlighted via those discussions, but let's say you are a COO, right? Let's say
Yeah.
you know that that problem exists, but
Yeah.
the asynchronous discussions and stuff, they're not able to highlight that problem. What do you do?
Okay. For this, I would like to go back to one of my point that I mentioned regarding the mentors aspect. So there is a program or a principle called talent management that is we focusing on. So in this talent management, there are mentors who are, really qualified to understand people as well as, interact
Okay,
with the
got your
employee.
point. What if you do not have enough money in your organization to hire these mentors for talent management? You already have a lot of operational problems. You are spending resources on that, so you cannot spend extra money on talent management mentoring and stuff. What do you do?
Great question. I would rather focus on, the hiring itself, of the employees itself and converting them into a mentor, because me as a CEO will be the one who will be communicating it to the mentors, right?
Okay,
I'll be making sure these mentors are, qualified enough, or, I make them, qualified enough to communicate these problems and,
but don't you think that it will take time? You are hiring people, you are mentoring them, right? So they end up becoming mentors and they help other people in talent management. Let's say it takes 3 months, right? Are you going to bear that 3 months of loss? That's cost.
in
actually,
the
while
yeah, Shana, you can go ahead.
okay, I'll just help you, Anjali, and then you can continue. I said, like, while we are mentoring people, they are also learning by doing. They are also learning by doing. So it's not like they are the manufacturing or the production is stopped or it is at halt for 3 months. So we'll still be making money. We'll still be producing our goods. And while working, the people who are on senior level, they will learn more about it. They will become more you can say informed about
Okay,
the
what if the operational
necessities.
problem is measured and you cannot, take it gradually?
I don't follow up the question.
What if the operational problem is measured and you cannot take it gradually as you are planning to take it?
It's a major problem, so it's pressing. You can't spend a lot of time training people instead of solving it.
I think if it, yes, we'll use the design thinking approach. We'll like
How?
break the problem into small pieces and then try to evaluate it.
Sure, but see, connecting it back to the first question that I asked, right? Those people, they are not able to highlight the problem. So as a COO, if you directly go and implement the design thinking, then it would not make sense for people, right? So how would you first make them aware of the problem? I said, right, the asynchronous discussion is not getting, the problem is not getting highlighted via the discussion they're having. So how would you make it highlighted? Would you directly jump into design thinking and solve the problem?
Okay, to make them aware, we'll have to take them to that place of the problem. Let's say if the manufacturing place is where the problem is, actually showing them the exact problems and, putting
What
it
if the problem is not, tangible? Like it's not very apparent. What do you do?
even in that case, communicating it well to my employees or, the mentors would be my way to,
You are the CEO, right? You are the
Exactly.
CEO. So
As a CEO, my approach will not be just to guide them or, keep on communicating them about the vision. My approach will also be to get the information or, get a proper guidance or their perspective in my business. Only then
But
I
Anjali, I think that still doesn't solve the problem, right? If there is a problem and you're just going around with the symptoms, or employees are giving the suggestions or mentors are giving the suggestions, but you're still not recognizing the problem, what would you do in that case?
the thing is, they are not understanding the problem, right? So you cannot take their perspective on the problem because they don't know the problem exists. Only you as a CEO
an
knows that.
example if like such a problem exists, because this kind of is going on a
Okay, I cannot think of an example, but let's consider a hypothetical scenario, right? Let's say that it has not happened, but if you become
Tushar,
CEO tomorrow, it happens. Yeah,
so Tushar, you are saying at least as a CEO, we understand the problem. It's not like no one understanding the problem. At least someone is understanding. Is this your question?
yes, you are aware of the existence of the problem.
Okay, so since we are as a COO aware of the existence of the problem, we will obviously have some senior managers, some junior managers, and the lower hierarchy of people working under us. We will obviously, communicate this problem
How will you
through
communicate?
our hierarchy, through sprints and the meetups that we have. We'll first communicate it to the senior members who are directly reporting to us. Okay, make them understand. Then we'll
How would you make them
pass it
understand?
down by communicating.
What if they don't understand?
Can I take it?
Yes.
yeah, Mitali.
Yeah. See, you are saying as a COO, we understand the problem. Neither our
No,
customers.
I did not say you understand the problem. I said you are aware of the existence of the problem.
Okay, we are aware of the existence of the problem. Neither our customers are understanding the problem. Neither the employees in a company are actually understanding the problem, right? But we are
Maybe.
aware of the problem. Okay. So what we can do as a COO is we'll create a small funnel in our own company, which we will be like explaining them the problem, since we are aware of the employees who are there in our company, and we handpicking them and creating a small funnel, and we will be trying to explain to them selectively that this is the exact problem. Till then, the other part of the company will be working on the process, because the production is happening, right? It is getting to the customer. The cost is not getting affected. So this small funnel can be created in the company through which we will be actually accessing the problem as well, and the production is also not affected.
Okay, sure, makes sense. Thank you, Mitali. We
Okay,
could have more follow-ups, but we don't have time. So
yeah, thank you, Team Woody Cutlery. In the interest of time, we'll move to the next team, right? So EcoFresh, if you guys could quickly go through your pitch.
Joel. Okay, Andre.
So, hello everyone, we are EcoFresh. That Eco and Fresh, the word we have chosen because it reflects our brand core values. And our EcoFresh is a sustainable personal care brand that emphasizes the environmentally friendly practices and offers a range of products including skin care and hair care. Our brand primarily emphasizes on the utilizing safe ingredients and reusable packaging to encourage a greener lifestyle. Moreover, EcoFresh implemented operational principles such as quality control and supply relationship management to tackle the challenges of increasing cost while improving product quality as well. And by closely tracking the loose ends in the supply chain, our brand aims to identify and address inefficiency. Now moving on with Joy over there.
Okay, so the problems that we faced were ingredient sourcing challenges, because we were trying to make a product which is eco-friendly and natural at the same time. So our ingredients should be sourced from multiple parts of the country, because everything is not available at the same place, and we cannot develop them in labs like chemicals. So we are trying to bring in multiple providers of these ingredients from different parts of the country, and then reduce the cost by taking it from places where it is produced in a majority. The second problem we faced would be packaging constraints, and because most of skincare products and self-care products are packaged in plastics, we would like to go against that and would like to introduce packaging that is eco-friendly, like glass or fiber-based paper or uh, cloth like that, so that we can package our products in an eco-friendly way. Quality control and product consistency would was another problem that we faced, and this would be and like this we fix this by going through uh, we fix this by getting certifications from organizations that make sure that the product consistency is maintained. And cost control is a big problem that we face right now, and because eco-friendly packaging materials are more expensive than conventional alternatives, and like all moving to alternate sources of ingredients are also increasing our cost depending on the processes that are involved behind procuring them. So that is a big challenge because we have to track down the suppliers all over the country, and also the specific ingredients as areas where they're grown in surplus. So we'll have to get them at a cheaper rate. Can we move to the next slide, please? Thank you. Yeah, supplier relationship. So what we're doing for supplier relationship here is we're trying to make a contract with providers of these ingredients that we favor them, and we give them their payment in advance. It's or at a more earlier time than other companies do. So in return, we ask for a cheaper rate because we also buy in bulk. So this is what we're trying to do through supplier relationship. And in manufacturing and supply chain optimization, we're trying to source these ingredients from places where they're available in surplus. So it's not like if tulsi is available near my place, but they're at less in a less amount, I would buy it from there. But then I would go to a specific farm where they produce only tulsi and buy it in bulk so that I can buy it at a cheaper rate. And the supply chain would be including better like uh, more more non-conventional transport like trains and other ways where we can get it at our headquarters or at our place at a lesser price. Yeah, and research and development process. So this is a process that is going on that goes on for the entire time. We are like always updating our team that is working on the products with new knowledge from the scientific like whatever new scientific development is taking place. We make sure that they're up to date with it, and we also conduct regular quality checks so that this is set in place. Yeah, Riddhi would be taking.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So the first principle that we tried to bring in was maintaining good relationships with our stakeholders, suppliers being one of the crucial stakeholders that we would want to focus on. Second thing, cross-functional collaboration, especially with the packaging team, because we want to incorporate two features, that is functionality and aesthetic requirements into the way it looks, the way it conveys what we are trying to say. Second thing, as quality, maintaining standard quality was a problem that we faced. So the principle that we tried to implement was checking, focusing on in incorporating KPIs and other measurement systems, and also documenting, providing standard operating procedures to new members who come in. And cost optimization, so negotiating with our suppliers, exploring bulk purchasing, and also alternative transportation methods. So for all of these, we tried incorporating these principles. And yeah, the impact. So we realized that we were able to bring build stronger relationships that impacted our credibility and the trust relations with them. Second thing, when we offered sustainable packaging, we were able to foster brand loyalty. And when we focused on measuring, the KPIs and SOPs, we realized that we're reducing a lot of wastage, and we could fill in those gaps, and that eventually helped us saving the cost of production. So that is what we were trying. Andre, would you like to conclude?
Yeah, so now at the conclusion, we get to know that over packaging and design limitations while retaining functionality and sustainability, collaborating with the packaging designers and specialists is required. And by partnering with the professionals who specialize in this field, we can design and well. And the second point, we come to know that to guarantee a steady supply of high quality ingredients, operation must pay close attention to sourcing and supply relationship management. And the last, by implementing waste management processes such as recycling, reusing, or composting, the brand ensures that their packaging materials have a reduced impact on the environment, and these processes contribute to a circular economy approach. And by minimizing the waste going to a landfills and promoting responsible handling of packaging waste throughout its life cycle. And that's how we are eco-fresh. Thank you.
Thank you, Team EcoFresh. Would Woody Cutlery like to take any questions?
Yeah, I'd like to. So it's a great concept. It's more of cosmetics, right? Like if I get it wrong. Okay. So like you mentioned in the product quality aspect, yeah, like you'll be sourcing it from multiple parts of the country. Doesn't that isn't that a really, heavy and, very time consuming and process? And also you have mentioned there will be a consistent flow of this, resources. So how are you going to make sure of that?
Okay.
Joel, you're not audible.
Okay, I would like to take a question. Yeah.
Yeah.
What I meant by sourcing our products from sourcing our ingredients from multiple parts of the country is that we'll take them from parts of the country where they're available in surplus. Like, so let's take an example of sandalwood. They won't be available at bulk near your place, but if you go to Karnataka, it will be available in surplus. So when you buy it in bulk, you'll get it at a cheaper rate, right? And then if you transport it from there on a public transport like trains, you'll get the transportation cost also down. Because if you try using trucks and other logistics, it'll take up more of the accountability as well, and the cost as well. So this is what we're trying to do by acquiring it from different parts of the country.
Okay. Got your point. So like trains, I think like isn't every, company would be following that. So like how exactly you mean, it will be saving the cost? Because I'm sure, for procuring of goods, to get bulk goods also, it will require a lot of cost, be it, by road transportation or by, rail. So procuring of high quality or, in bulk is what the point over here is. So, and from different parts. Now that is one point, sandalwood is in surplus in Karnataka. At the same way, different states will have different, logistics and, different rules for all this business relation interstate. So doesn't that will create a lot of cost, aspect? Because you have mentioned you'll be, one of your principle was cost optimization. Hence, this becomes a really big question. So how do you plan to tackle it?
Cost optimization was not one of our principles, but one of the problems that we are facing, first of all. So like we currently face those problems, and we're trying to like reduce the cost of the entire, like the total production cost, but because we are not able to reduce the cost of the items we are using. So to answer your questions, if you are using trains, it'll be a little more expensive according to what I've tried to look for. But then we're saving time in that sense. So if you're using trucks, they'll be still they'll be okay with transporting it to you with trucks. Other companies mostly use trucks for that. But then by using trains, we're saving time because they're set paths and they move on a faster rate.
Guys, can we keep our answers and questions very short? Because it's not a dialogue that's happening right now.
Sure.
Yeah. So, in order to add, like, just to add to his point, what we are trying to focus on, it's okay if initially it takes, if it's the cost, but on a larger picture, like on a big picture, we're trying to, move the inventory really fast. So the idea behind this is the sooner it reaches to our plant, the sooner we're able to manufacture and let it out, like send it, dispatch it. So the inventory, like the inventory cycle is reduced. So we
Okay.
try to bring in just in time concept there.
Okay, so as a follow-up question with you, I would like to ask, as you said, you're making this inventory circle like it is coming. So how do you ensure that you are getting continuous supply from your suppliers? Like, because if you're talking about sandalwood, so they are not always available. They have certain seasons. There are certain fibers which only grow in certain seasons. Like jute is a good thing for packaging, sustainable packaging. So they are only grown in monsoon. So how do you tackle with that? And if you're procuring all the good in that season, how do you store it and maintain it throughout the year for manufacturing?
Okay.
Or you, yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead, Jit.
I would like, okay. So the mention of jute, I would like to say that we won't really use jute as the only packaging. So it's not like you're seeing jute in a tangible form or in an interactable form, but we'll be using the essence of jute. So what those essence is that the fibers are being used for that, right? So let's say we're also trying to reduce waste. So let's say we are using coconut anywhere in our products, right? So the coconut always produce a husk. So that husk can be used as another way of like another source of fibers to produce our packaging material. So it's not like it will be it would be covered in jute, but it would be a similar packaging material.
Okay,
So we'll always have alternatives to packaging material.
okay, so you're seeing for seasonal constraints, you will be using alternate
Yeah.
items.
Yeah.
Okay, and how would you maintain a continuous supply
Okay. So
of the alternate materials?
yeah, as I mentioned in the beginning, the continuous supply would be maintained by having partnership with the suppliers. So what we're doing is if a company is offering them their payment for after 3 months, we'll be offering them it to them in 2 months. In return, what we ask is a continuous supply of these products and a cheaper rate, a slightly cheaper rate. So we're like giving them their payment in around 2 months and getting a long-term contract.
Okay, so another follow-up question to your answer would be, if you're giving a lot of advances, okay, in order to avail a lot of discounts on bulk purchasing, but don't you think it will subsequently increase your, operational cost and it will drain you out of your daily funds?
So yes, I agree that it may increase that aspect of the operational cost. But in order to deal with that, we thought of, looking into our procedures and processes, and every time there's a loose end, or, we can think that maybe, we can work on a process more efficiently where the wastage of time, money, energy, all kind of wastage is reduced. Will be considering those aspects. So in order to tackle the increase in cost on that end, we can look into our systems where we can optimize it even in a better way. So at the end of the day, it's like balanced, if that makes sense.
I would like to add a question. So, like, it's again regarding the inventory flow that you mentioned. So I see like there's a lot of loose ends over here. You say that you will do this, you will do this. So wherein you are actually, kind of investing a lot of effort into building this, uh, into a successful company, which will require a lot of efforts. So how, you'll streamline those process is one thing. Another thing, as inventory flow question was there. So you guys mentioned you'll be paying them upfront and, making sure the relation between that supplier and everything is managed. But at the same time, Shana, pointed out that sandalwood is, a seasonal thing. So do you think, even if you are, paying them upfront, there will be a, resource lacking, right? There will be, it's not sure that you'll be actually getting the resources on time. And at the same time, as the company has to run, will it be more like a seasonal company, as like you are an organic, eco-friendly product? So will you be producing, cosmetics in a seasonal way? Let's say coconut is there, so something regarding coconut, then sandalwood. So in this
Okay,
month,
so how are you dealing with the seasonal resources, basically?
yeah, like, do you want to make it as a seasonal product as well?
Right.
So for that we can have a wide range of products. So it won't just be seasonal, but that's a good point for bringing in. So we may introduce, a limited pack, limited edition kind of thing for a certain product. So if there's sandalwood, for example, that can be a limited edition. But I think coconut, I'm not really sure, but do we get coconut all around the year, so that we can have products based on coconut all around the year? So that can be there. I think rose and turmeric is always a great product, so that can be all around.
Okay,
But those that are
yeah.
seasonal can be
So
My
you're
limited
managing
edition.
alternatives, right? So sorry, just to bring to Anjali's first question, right? You are having all these random alternatives. So how are you streamlining that process?
That was exactly my question, Samira. If you have so many diversified operations, how are you making sure that everyone is aligned with the values of it, and making sure that the operations are going in the right direction?
Somebody from
So I think in that case, we would like to, keep a close. We would like to keep a close um, check on all the procedures that are going on. So everything will not start at once. It will start with like baby steps. So initially, we can start with yes, Mohit.
No, continue. If somebody
Okay,
has some, yeah.
Okay, so initially we can start with the products that are all we get all around the year, and then eventually bring in slowly introduce products, the other set of products.
Yeah. Any follow-ups, guys?
I have.
Yeah.
So if you're taking your business that slow, don't you think, and also you're giving advanced money to your suppliers, don't you think it will put a huge financial burden on your back? And how will you, support your business financially if you're going slow, plus you're giving advances? So how are you managing that? That's it.
So we can rely on we can rely on government subsidies, and we yeah, that's how I think.
Okay, government subsidies and also the time
Certain extent.
fast supply and all that, right? Okay,
Right.
I think we can end the discussion dialogue here, because we're short of time now. Thank you everybody for giving such wonderful answers. We can go ahead with the reflections. Who'd like to reflect on today's dialogue?
Samita, just shortly we can take Mohit's and Mitali's question. Like, you guys can, together have a question if they can answer it, that, and then we can share the reflection.
We really are short of time, and we're supposed to finish
No
the
worries,
so
no worries. Yeah,
we
just
can
wanted to
continue the
ask.
discussion in detail. Yeah,
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
who would like to go ahead with the reflections then?
Okay, so I will go first. While the discussion, I really like about that both teams have the same mindset. that is eco-friendly. And that's I really like it because we can connect our thoughts, and that while asking the question, both teams can relate to our mindset, and we love while talking because the same problem we also get at our product. If they are using a wood, we are using something else, the same skincare. But the motto is the same thing, that is sustainability and eco-friendly. And that's the thing I like because it is not decided before. This is very random thing we have come up. So that's a good thing about that we are coming up with the eco-friendly brands in this discussion. And that's it.
Thank you, Andy. Who else would like to go ahead with the reflection? Who's going with the reflection next?
Yeah, I think I saw multiple perspectives of CEO thing like perspective today, because I wasn't really aware of many things that we missed out. And from the Woody Cutlery's pitch, I got some more insights on how exactly to look through a CEO's lens.
Could you mention any one such perspective, Joel?
Yeah, so they mention how they're using waste as well. Waste. So like this is a follow-up question, by the way, but then I don't want them to answer it right now because in the interest of time. But then what I saw was they're using sawdust, and then they also mentioned that they're going to use A and B quality wood. So this follows a discrepancy here because sawdust is not put in the category of A B quality wood. So what I noticed here was yeah. So
Sorry.
that
Yeah.
yeah, go
Okay,
ahead. Anjali.
no answering.
Sorry.
Next
No,
reflection.
it's I'll go on with the reflection. Joel,
Sure.
you can complete your reflection. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that's around it. I mean, I'm not able to put it in words right now because I was already in the yeah. So that was around that was where I found this thing interesting. So yeah.
Sure. Thank you, Joel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my reflection. Okay, so uh, okay, I'll not try to answer, but I'll have to answer. So like as we were going through the presentation, I also had this COO kind of thing, because when we were working on the presentation, and when we were working on the process and principles, I kind of tried to put all the pointers and try to connect with that with our product and how we can connect it with the product. That kind of a thing happened. But when I actually presented it and when I was discussing it with Tushar, and like you guys were questioning, that's when actually I had that CO lens, and I tried to answer the question. So that kind of helped. And one point from the the EcoFresh team, I kind of like the supplier relationship principle, which we were not able to cover. As a company, supplier relationship is also one of the major aspects. So yeah, thanks for that. And Joel, sawdust is the byproduct of our product, so we'll be giving it to composting.
Okay, that's understandable. Thank you.
Next, thank you, Anjali. Who would like to go with the reflection next?
I think there is a great urge that Anjali had to answer. So kudos to that. And I would like to, reflect because, okay, so, while we were making the presentation, we were all thinking from the COO perspective, but, this Socratic dialogue actually broadened the horizon completely. Like we were thinking of the quality or the finances or the operations from only one perspective. Okay, but cross questioning and the Socratic dialogue completely broadened the horizon and made it more clear, like how we'll manage the finance, how we will manage the quality, and how we will communicate or keep the people in aligned to the values. So yeah, that's my reflection.
Great, thank you, Sana. Would anyone else like to go ahead with the reflection?
Yeah, I would like to go ahead.
Sure, please do.
Okay, yeah. So this was my first SD. So basically, I literally enjoyed it, and there was a lot of takeaways from it. First of all, I was actually able to see through a lens of a CEO, and was actually able to understand that you need to be prepared for what's coming. right? And in a company, since the question that Tushar took up was actually getting us into a fall, but I was able to like get into the lens of a CEO and get to an answer that was actually kind of a funnel creating stuff. So I was not able to get into the whole aspect of it, but suddenly from the lens of a CEO, I got it. So yeah, you were actually able to see from a different perspective. That is such a big takeaway from the today's SD. Also, you were able to see from the perspective of the different team, right? Because the questions that we were not able to come up while creating our company, others could come up, right? So it was a great takeaway. I enjoyed it a lot.
Great. Thank you, Mitali. Who'd like to go next?
I would like to go next. So there was this workshop, right, 3 to 5, and every like the fundamentals that I was exposed to there, especially like when it's the difference between execution and operations, and how do you see things as a CEO? How do you ensure that all of that is communicated well, so that the others also align to the same this the same strategy, they see the things the same way you're trying to achieve. So all of these I could implement while preparing the PPT and answering the questions, so that helped me. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Riddhi. Would anybody like to go next? Okay, the coaches could share their reflections too.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my Discord.
Okay. So yeah. So what I observed is basically the more we rely on external stakeholders, right? While like both the teams were kind of relying on, so either for basically for the raw materials, right? So the more we rely on external stakeholders, I think a lot of our operations get dependent on how you negotiate with that external stakeholder for a streamline and consistent, and also there is also a lot of quality part of it, right? So I think even my question was around this only, right? But yeah, I mean, what I feel is basically uh, in that scenario, right, having multiple stakeholders is always a good option, right? So that even if one of the uh, source get maybe sidelined, the other resource can be a great backup. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mohit. Tushar, would you like to go next?
Yeah, sure. Just one thing I want to say, like when we were having that dialogue, right? When we were bringing up that point of problems not being highlighted. So as a CEO, how would you highlight that? One thing that I realized is when you are managing an organization, right, from such a position, problems like just keep on coming up, right? Like if you think about a solution, then there would always be some like from some direction another problem will just pop up. So the fact that those people, those CXOs, they are able to like when they are coming up with strategies and stuff, they are able to look at all the directions, right? They're able to predict how things are going to happen. And like that's really wonderful if you think about it, right? And in some cases when they're not able to do that, it might lead to a lot of problems, right? Which again is like problems coming up and then helping the organization grow because they faced that problem, right? So I think this made me appreciate more the work that people such as CXOs and stuff do. Yeah, great. Thank you.
Okay, definitely agreeing to that point and whatever we discussed, right, about how like you're more concentrating on your specific task, so you don't really see the bigger picture. And often the main problem arises in the bigger picture. What you see in the task just ends up being the symptoms. So how do you address that? That was also a question that came up, which I think we figured out some answer of that, which went into a lot of detail, right? So that happens with chief operations officers. They're going into details plus having that bigger picture. You guys ended up having alternatives, 2 alternatives and another alternative. So like having all those plans in place and streamlining them, that's like a very good insight I had. And that only happens from that operations lens. It's not easy to do that from even a project or program manager lens. So thank you for the great discussion we had. I think we can end here, and thank you everybody who joined us for this Socratic dialogue.